Unit 18. The Selfish Giant. I start with asking you some questions. As I told you to read the text at home last week. Was the giant in the castle? No, he wasn't. Where was he? He was visiting a friend. What was the garden like? It was beautiful. Was the giant happy when he came back? And why? No, he wasn't happy when he came back because he didn't like the children in his garden. Was the giant kind at the beginning? No, he wasn't. Where did the children try to play? They tried to play on the road. Did spring come to the giant's garden? No, it didn't come. Also, the birds didn't want to sing because there were no children. Very good. What did the giant hear one morning? He heard beautiful music. And the birds were singing cheerfully, happily. What did he see? He saw children in every tree. So, why did the spring come? Because the children came back. Yes. What did the giant do to the wall? He knocked it down. And the children came to play every day in the garden of the giant. Now, I'd like you to listen to the text, but before listening, let's understand some new words in our lesson today. The first one is selfish. Selfish is an adjective. It means caring only about what you want or need. So selfish means caring only about what you need or want. Your sister is selfish. She loves herself only. Giant, a very large, strong one. Giant, a very large, strong one. Beast, like this one. Beast can be a wild animal or a person who is unkind, who has no feelings. Yeah, so beast is a wild animal or an unkind person. Castle or castle. We can say it like this and like that. Castle is what? Castle is a large, strong building. It was built in the past to protect the people inside it, like this one in our picture. Belong to. This book belongs to me means I own it. It's for me. So belong to means to be owned by a person or a thing. Branch, a part of something, and this thing is large, like this branch of a tree. So branch is a part of something large. Rattle. The windows rattled when the wind blew. So rattle means to make noise with what? With quick repeated knocks, like when the wind comes and hits the window starts to what? The window starts to rattle, to make sound like this, like when you hear wind hits the window what? The window rattles, make noise of quickly repeated knocks. Notice. Notice is like this one on which written no parking, so there was a large notice saying no parking. Now, open your books, page 156, 157. Listen carefully to the text.
18. The Selfish Giant. Every day after school, some children played in a beautiful garden. It belonged to a giant, but he was not in his castle. He was visiting his friend a long way away. Flowers like stars grew in the grass. In spring, the trees had pink flowers on their branches. In the autumn, the trees held round golden fruit. "We are very happy here," the children told each other. The giant stayed away for 7 years, but one day he came back. He saw the children in his garden. "What are you doing here?" he asked in a gruff voice. "This garden is mine." The children ran away. The giant built a wall all round the garden. He put up a big notice, "Keep out." He was a very selfish giant. The children had nowhere to play. They tried to play on the road, but the road was very dusty and full of hard stones. They passed the high wall after school. "We were happy there," they said to each other. Spring came. Everywhere there were flowers and birds, but in the selfish giant's garden it was still winter. The birds did not want to sing in it because there were no children. There were no flowers anywhere. Snow covered the grass. The north wind came. It rattled the windows. It roared all round the garden like an angry beast. The giant could not understand it. "Where is spring?" he said. But spring never came, nor the summer. In the autumn, the other gardens had golden fruit, but the giant's garden had nothing. It was always winter in his garden. There was ice and snow. The cold north wind blew more fiercely every day. One morning, the giant woke up early. He heard beautiful music. It was a bird singing cheerfully outside his window. The giant looked out. He saw a small hole in his tall, thick wall. But then he saw the most wonderful sight. In every tree sat a little child. Pink flowers were on the branches. The birds were flying about and twittering. The flowers nodded their heads most joyfully. The giant's heart melted. "I was very selfish," he said. "Now I understand why spring never came. My garden can be the children's playground forever and ever." He took a big axe and knocked down the wall, and the children played there every day.
58. Choose the correct ending. The children played in the garden in the spring, after school or after lunch. The answer is after school. B. Letter B. In spring, the branches on the trees had pink what? Yes, flowers. C. 3. The trees held golden fruit when? In the autumn. Good. 4. The giant stayed away for 7 years, a long time. 5. The giants built a wall around the garden. The notice said, "Keep out, stay away," or "stay out. Don't come inside, be outside." So it will be "keep out, stay outside." In the giant's garden, it was always cold. Yeah. Number 8. When the giant woke up, he heard beautiful music. Why? Because the children came back and the birds started to twitter. Twitter means to sing. In the garden, he saw children. The last one. He took an axe and knocked down the wall. Very good. Number 2, discuss answer for these questions. Why were the children happy in the garden at first? Why? Why they were happy? If you go back to your book, you will find what? The garden was what? It was very beautiful. Flowers, fruits. Yes, so you can discuss it or you can choose your correct answer according to what you see. But for myself, I think that they were happy because the garden was clean. It has fruits, it has flowers, and it was large or wide. Number 2, why did the children run away when the giant came back? Why they ran away? Because what? He looked what? He looked cruel, angry, and he said to them, this garden is mine. So the children what? Became afraid of him, scared. Why did spring come back to the giant's garden? Because the children what? Came back again to it. Why did he knock the wall down? Because what? He started to love the children and he knew that, yes, the children made everything to be happy. Even the birds started to think because of them. Was the giant sorry for being selfish? Loved himself only? Yes. And how do you know? Because he said what? My garden can be the children's what? Playground forever and ever. So he gave back the garden to the children and he let them to play in it without stopping them. Page 159. Find and write the correct word. Joyfully, rattle. Joyfully means happily. 59. Find and write the correct word. Joyfully, rattle. Joyfully means happily and full of happiness. Rattle, to make sounds like knocking. Twitter, to sing in a beautiful sound like the birds twitters, means to sing in their sound. Fiercely means angrily and in unkind way. Cheerfully means happily also. Roar, to make a loud sound, strong sound. Number 1, the sound the windows made when the wind blew hard against them means rattle. The sound the wind made when it blew around the garden, roar. 2 words that means happily, joyfully, and cheerfully. 1 word that means angrily and unkindly, fiercely. The sound birds make when they are happy, twitter. Yes. I hope you listen to the text again and to read it also 2 or 3 times to master it.